Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So, Kody Brown's apology tour kicks off this week, and if you're worried that Kody might try to pull one over on Janelle, or that she's somehow an easy target, relax. They're still not back together. But here's the thing. Her reaction to his apology is interesting, to say the least. And let's be honest, it barely even counts as an apology. He didn't really acknowledge what he did or how it hurt her. Instead, he says something like, "I'm sorry I was so angry. No one deserved that." That's not the kind of apology that really lands. A proper, meaningful apology would sound more like, "I recognize the words I used hurt you. I realize that I said things to deliberately hurt you, and that was wrong. I am sorry. Here's how I plan to not make the same mistakes again." And then it would be followed by actions, not just words. But that's not what we're getting here. Kody's version is basically, "I was angry. Sorry about that." And technically, he didn't even fully say, "I'm sorry." Ugh, I have such a hard time with half-hearted apologies like this. Now, Janelle's reaction is, well, surprising. Or maybe it's not so surprising. Honestly, this is probably why Kody went to her first. She's someone who, despite everything, responds to the tiniest hint of decency. Meanwhile, Robyn Brown is confronted by producers about the idea of one of the wives possibly coming back to the family, and she completely flips out. But let's stay with Janelle for now. She says, "Wow, thanks. I kept thinking, I don't even know who this guy is anymore. I used to always tell people, this isn't the man I was married to forever. You know what I mean?" And Kody quietly agrees. "Yeah, you weren't the only one saying that." Janelle continues, reflecting on how strange it is hearing him speak publicly. "The person I see saying all these things, I don't recognize him. He's like someone I knew a long time ago. I recognize some pieces, little things we shared, but overall, I'm very confused by everything he said." And honestly, he didn't have to say more than that. Her response alone says so much. I know Kody will probably offer more apologies, probably try to dig deeper. But these women have been so starved for decency from him that even a simple, almost half-hearted, "I apologize for being angry," gets this huge response. Wow, I didn't even know who that guy was. It's kind of shocking. And kind of sad. After that, the conversation shifts to how Janelle viewed their relationship and how she mourned its ending. And honestly, it's a little strange to watch. I feel sad for her. And I should note, this isn't how every woman would react. Janelle seems unusually susceptible to Kody. I think she has very low expectations of him. She's the one who has left him the most, only to come back again and again. And it seems like all he has to do is offer the bare minimum with a smile, and she's right back in. That's probably why her daughter even said something like, "Are you sure he's not just trying to come back and pull you back in?" Now, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but it's hard not to feel a little sad that her immediate reaction is gratitude, almost relief. Of course, in her talking head, she's saying something different. I still don't know him. But that's Janelle. She often says things to the camera she won't say to Kody, and when she does speak to him honestly, she tends not to revisit it afterward. Maybe out of shame, maybe because revisiting fights is painful. Either way, there's so much history here. This isn't even the first time Kody has tried to apologize. Remember Salsa Bravo? He tried to reconcile, and she said no. Then last year, they met to discuss Coyote Pass and how to move forward financially, and Kody apologized again. So what's different this time? Janelle continues, I don't recognize my life. It feels completely different now." Kody agrees. "So do I. I never saw this coming in a million years." She reflects on the family falling apart. "When the family fell apart, I mourned more the loss of the ideal of what we were trying to do. We had this vision, this ideal when we all got together to raise the kids. Thank goodness the kids are still close to each other. They're still siblings, really. That was one of the biggest things we accomplished." And then she adds something that made me pause. "We had this whole idea of how it was going to be." Wait, did she just say that? After everything we've seen over the last 15 years, she still remembers this ideal as if nothing went wrong?
Now, let's keep going, because when you really line it all up, it gets even harder to listen to. What about the part where he took money from you? The part where he flat out stole from you? The part where he convinced you to sell your Las Vegas house, your stability, only to leave you scrambling later? Or the part where he planned to take all the money tied up in Coyote Pass? What about the money you gave him for the house in Flagstaff that he never paid back? Or, brace yourself, the part where he berated your son, verbally abused him, isolated him, turned him into the villain of the family. The part where your son's mental health declined so badly that he turned to alcohol and ultimately took his own life. But yes, somehow, through all of that, you knew he always loved you. This is what's so painful to watch. Janelle is a woman who has lived in a cycle of emotional abuse for so long that she no longer has a clear picture of what healthy love even looks like. When abuse becomes normal, crumbs of validation start to feel like affection. But let's be very clear, none of that was love. Not one bit. What we just witnessed was a woman receiving a tiny breadcrumb of validation while he swoops in, smooth-talking and emotional, and it works. I don't even know that Kody is actively trying to get back together with her, but he's absolutely planting the seed. And the scary part? Even Janelle seems to feel it. She's not as angry as she used to be. The edge has softened, but nothing has actually changed. He's still with Robyn. The same dynamics would still be there. The same neglect, the same favoritism. And I have to ask, how would her kids feel if she went back again? This is exactly why her children keep such a guarded distance when it comes to her relationship with Kody. Maddie even talked about this on a podcast, about how her mom was stuck in this cycle, going back to someone who hurt her, not putting the kids first, over and over again. It's heartbreaking, truly. Then we hear Janelle say, "I haven't had this kind of emotional connection with him in a long time." And I'm like, where is this going? She admits she was confused. She says at one point she thought, wow, you're really laying it on thick. She even wondered if he was about to ask for reconciliation, though she says it wouldn't have made sense. But here's where I'm struggling. Why is she confused? Every single time they've sat down together since the split, Kody has tried to pull her back in. Every time. This isn't new behavior. Remember that last meeting before they were getting ready to sell Coyote Pass? He's sitting there eating eggs, they're talking about the property, and Janelle says she wants to sell. And Kody immediately pivots to, well, what about us? Every single time. So when she acts surprised by his intensity, by his emotional push, I just don't buy it. This is his pattern. This is what he does when he feels control slipping through his fingers.
She's not getting back together with Kody, you guys. Let's be clear on that. But Robyn's reaction is interesting. Laughing, shaking her head, clearly annoyed. You can see it on her face. I think part of her might even adjust her reaction later, once she realizes how she looked. But it's obvious she doesn't want anyone returning to the family. Why would she? Outside of maybe having more leverage or resources for herself and Kody, there's no reason. Janelle and Robyn never had a close relationship, and Janelle and Kody will never have what Kody and Robyn have. Kody wants Janelle to be like Robyn, but that's not going to happen. Their relationship is done. Period. Robyn's discomfort is clear. She even says she needs to stop talking about it or she's going to walk off the set. I'm sorry, you just opened this little portal of hope and now I'm going down that road. I can't. I have to move away from that, or I'll fall apart and I can't be on this set. Hope, she says, is dangerous. And watching her, you can see the defensive body language, hand over her mouth, fidgeting, rubbing her nose, playing with her hair. These are all signs she's hiding her true feelings. Robyn's not hopeful here. She's not lying when she says hope is dangerous. It would break her heart. McKelly recently described Kody and Robyn as living in a fear-based world, afraid of everything. And in that kind of upside-down reality, hope is dangerous. But she also doesn't want Janelle and Kody to get back together. If she truly wanted it, she would have reached out when she saw Janelle at Coyote Pass. She's had years of opportunities to engage with her, but she hasn't. In my opinion, Robyn's pretending to entertain hope just to avoid reality. She doesn't want to share Kody again. She doesn't want the complicated dynamics, the split attention, or to be reminded of what she's done. It's painful for her, so she deflects. Pretending to be hopeful keeps her from facing a scenario she doesn't want. Could you imagine if Robyn just said, "No, I wouldn't want that to happen"? The family would read it as her wanting Kody all to herself. And honestly, she probably does. She's glad the others are gone because she doesn't like them. So here's the scene. Kody tries to lure Janelle in, and Robyn threatens to walk off the set if asked about anyone coming back. Spoiler alert, it's not going to happen. I want to hear what you think about all of this in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.